I'm Ryan Kenninger,
I'm Nikhil Kalu.
I'm Thomas Josar.
I'm Adrian Munguia.
and this is our presentation on the quality of water in developing countries.
Hello.
Okay, so our main problem is that the water quality situation in developing countries is treacherous and dangerous, not only through health problems but also economic problems. So this is a map of the world's water map. So the blue is very good water quality, and as you go down from light blue to the reds and oranges, the water quality goes down. And this is intrinsically linked with the economics of the world. So as you can see, the economics are almost like so the light colors are the very poor countries, and the darker ones are less poor countries, more affluent, and you can see they're almost exactly the same. Now, it's mainly Central Africa that has the lower water quality, and it has the same. Central Africa is the same way with the economics. So the effects of poor water quality on individuals they're mostly health effects, which are one of the main health effects is diarrhea, which is caused by cholera and dysentery. The World Health Organization states that the ways to cure diarrhea are to drink more water or clearer water, to continue eating food, and to receive help from medical personnel, which is almost impossible in many of these countries, so they don't have access to any of the special ways to treat diarrhea. And the ways to prevent diarrhea are the same way as you need to drink clean water and eat good food and clean food and have good hygiene, which is almost impossible in these poor countries. Most people don't have access to clean water. It takes, on average, per person in Africa, 3 hours to get water every day, and the women are carrying 40-pound, sometimes 70-pound barrels of water for 3 hours every day, which is the equivalent to 40 billion hours per year in sub-Saharan Africa alone, which is the equivalent of the amount of work that the entire French workforce does every year. And this also causes a vicious economic cycle, because if you're missing 3 hours of work a day, you can't effectively boost the economy because you're spending so much time collecting water. The Water Project has stated that for every $1 you donate to African countries to increase their water quality, there's a $3 to $4 economic return.
According to the CDC, every 21 seconds a child dies from a water-based illness. From this staggering fact, it is clear that a solution is needed. So the solution that we are presenting is independent organizations stepping into these poor areas and helping out with filtering their water and making it better to provide an overall better quality of life for everyone living there. On this graph, you can see that it is the level of water quality for those in poor economic areas has been declining since 1990 to 2015, with almost less than 1 billion not receiving good quality water. By having these independent organizations come in and help out, it relieves some of the stress from the government and also provides a quicker way for these people to have much cleaner water. There are a lot of nonprofit organizations out there right now, specifically in Uganda, slowly filtering out their water and helping them. However, this is not enough. Solutions such as the LifeStraw are only very temporary, as they're not the best things in the world, and heavy machinery is needed in order to filter out these waters. According to the National Public Health and Safety Organization, more than 60% of Africa is without safe water. And this is just another one of those staggering facts that tells you that action is needed to be taken in this situation. The disadvantages of this are the transportation. In order to perform this difficult task, a lot of machinery is needed in order to filter out these large bodies of water, and it's very difficult to move all of that there. Another difficult situation is things like low volunteers and lack of medicine. there's not a lot of people that will go out there and donate their time to those in need, and so it is very important that we have them. And lastly, there is a clear lack of medicine. Those who are affected by these lack of illnesses are slowly going to die out.
Okay, so our second solution is to influence developing countries to implement policies that many developed countries have put in to increase the quality of their water. And one of these most basic policies from the U.S. is the Federal Water Pollution Control Act of 1948, which is also known as the Clean Water Act. And this is one of the most basic policies that many developed countries have, and we believe that will help developing countries be able to have cleaner water. The implications, like I stated, is that it's a basic policy that will be able to treat the water and make it cleaner for everybody that is in that country, and that we know that this has worked because almost every developed country has policies and regulations for their water quality. Some limitations is that it is very costly, expensive, and time-consuming to implement these policies, and it will be very hard to transfer these countries and companies and the country itself into these policies because many will not want to change due to economic problems.
In conclusion, both of our solutions have their faults. The first solution is a quick solution. It's more of a short-term thing. It will more combat the problem of poor water quality than fix it, whereas our second solution would take a little bit of time, and in that bit of time, the population in that country would be affected by the poor water quality still. So we've come up with a plan to use both solutions in synchronization, as the first solution will act as a temporary thing, whereas once it's lived out its job and it's done what it needs to do, the second solution of the government policies will take over to provide more long-term effects. Although if we were to pick one solution that was better than the other, it would be the second solution because it fixes the poor water quality problem rather than just combating it as the second one does, which would be temporary. Thank you.
Everyone agree? Yeah, I would say you need to have like 7 or 8 sources.
Well, the grass.
I'm just saying.
The
So
grass.
Bell's gonna bring, look, I want to go over, lecture things. So, you need to staple, where's my
This is
stapler?
Mazier.
See it?
This is Mazier. This is Mazier. This is Mazier.
So wait, I need some help. Is this still filming?
Yes,